He approached the building from across the street and gazed up at the crest that was once again positioned directly above where the large man was stationed. In the brighter light, Holden could see that the man was a heavily tattooed Polynesian whose shaven head looked a little clean for an unfortunate. Holden neared the glass and looked up at the emblem, but he couldn't avoid the dark eyes that were burning into him. In a fleeting look, Holden glanced down, and it was just enough time. "Can you spare a 20? Holden laughed. That guy was pretty insistent. He looked him in the eyes and in the lighter drizzle of the day was able to see something else in them that hadn't been there the night before. Or at least something he'd been unable to see in the dusk. "I'm a vet and I'm selling ribbons." The whale-like man pointed to the light green ribbon on the lapel of his tattered jacket and then down to a coffee can beside him that was filled with them. "You got a 20? Want to buy a ribbon?" He saw it again. Something in the man's eyes made Holden believe that he was saying something entirely different. Against his better judgment, he reached into his back pocket and took out his wallet. "Yeah," Holden replied, taking out a $20 bill. The man reached for it slowly, never removing his steadfast gaze. After placing the crisp bill into his shirt, he unpinned a ribbon from the inside of his jacket and lowered his eyes before handing it over. "Tonight," he whispered, 8 o'clock. Stunned, Holden tightened his grip on the ribbon and said, "Okay." I'm about to react in an unusual way. Suddenly, the large man's demeanor changed and he threw his entire cup of coins at Holden's arm. The thick glass rebounded and shattered on the sidewalk with a triumphant crash. He rose like a giant over the crowd and began spouting random complaints and gibberish with a snarled, insane expression that frightened everyone outside the famous building. A wide bird grin lighted his face maddeningly, and Holden had to remind himself that this was some sort of act before jogging to freedom like everyone else on the street. A faint thrill chased his shadow, and a block away he slowed to glance back at the man who was swiping the shards of glass from his scattered change. He looked psychotic as he flailed his arms about the things magically made sense. Holden surmised that the only way such a group could recruit new members was to place beacons around the city and station someone near the beacon to guide the boats to shore. He had done it. He had found the free thinkers.